Good morning, and welcome to episode 45 of Getting Rich. I'm your host, Rich Checkan, president of Asset Strategies International, and today is Wednesday, September 22nd, 2021. Over the past week, we've seen people continue to try and get back to some sort of state of normalcy, despite the fact that we see a rise in COVID cases from the Delta variant. Kids are getting back to school, people are getting back to work, and we're trying to deal in a life post-COVID, if you will. Also, over the past week, many of us learned of a company in China that we probably hadn't heard of before, but it's a big one. $300 billion company called Evergrande apparently has about $300 billion in debt, and it has trouble making those payments. The fears that this will cause a liquidity crunch in China, the world's second largest economy, roiled markets worldwide over the past week, causing sell-offs in equities all across the globe. We will find out very soon if they can continue making payments, whether or not China might bail them out, or if they will let them fail and deal with the consequences. More to follow. The Federal Open Market Committee is meeting. They started yesterday, they'll meet today, and we'll see the results of those meetings tomorrow. And as always, although I don't understand why, everybody's hanging on the words of Fed Chairman Jerome Powell to see if they can get clues as to what their plan is for tapering, for interest rate increases, etc. Amid that backdrop, we have a Fed with a balance sheet over $8 trillion, and folks, there is more spending on the way. At least another $3 trillion that we're talking about right now, and oh, by the way, we don't have that money to spend. So let's take a look at the metals, which have stabilized a little bit after a sell-off. We've seen gold settle in just below $1,800, and the other metals are following suit. So let's get right to the prices. Gold this morning is at $1776.60. That's down 1.5% from last week at $18.03 per ounce. Silver down to $22.79, a 4.6% drop from last week's price at $23.89 an ounce. Platinum is your sole precious metals winner this week, up 3% to $9.75 from $9.46 an ounce last week. And palladium is down 2.75% this week to $20.46 an ounce versus $2,104 last week. As you can imagine, with silver falling further than gold, your gold-silver ratio has increased this week to 78:29 from 75:75, and the US dollar, again, as you can imagine, is flexing a little bit of its muscles, trading at 93.23 on the index, up from 92.47. Folks, I really don't care what Jerome Powell says. You know what I've said before. He is out of ammunition. There's not a whole lot he can do. Bubbles have been created everywhere, and ask Evergrande, when you grow too much on debt, that bubble will eventually pop. I think the same thing is going to happen all over the world in all asset classes. You're going to see this bubble pop eventually. The Fed created it. The Fed will mismanage it, the Fed will pop it, and we will all pay the consequences. And your only protection going forward is to buy well and buy gold. Do you have all the gold necessary to keep what's yours? That's the question you should be asking yourself right now. As always, I want you to go ahead and join us on YouTube, like us, follow our social media at Asset Strategies, sign up for our publications via email, and don't ever forget that getting rich starts with keeping what's yours.